and welcome to the first episode of Matt Does the News. I figured, well, my camera's shaking, but whatever, I'm going to keep on going. I figured since I used to do this kind of stuff on a professional basis, and I am actually, don't tell anybody, still kind of doing that, I figured I'd put that kind of stuff up on my own channel, and I figured, what better of a week than when the granddaddy of modern PC gaming goodness decided to do big announcements, plural, did 3. And so the first topic for this week, and whenever it isn't going to be bi-weekly, it's going to be when there's good stuff to talk about, is the gigantic Steam announcements. And so if you excuse me, sometimes I look up. It's not because I'm like, I have notes above the camera, so because I'm really professional. So I mean, there were 3 announcements this week, and Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so first, of course, they announced Steam OS, which is a standalone OS for living room machines that's Linux-based, and also, hopefully, I think one of the things that they're trying to do is pressure developers to drop DirectX and get OpenGL, which is an interesting thing. I don't know how successful that is, or well, I guess maybe not to drop it, but in order to maybe expand the amount, the amount of games that come out in OpenGL. I, for one, can kind of get behind that because DirectX compatibility on a PC sometimes is a little bit of a pain in the asshole. And so I don't really, anything that's a little bit more ease of use and user-friendly and doesn't cause as much foo-for-all and problems and makes it easier for developers to actually focus on a game rather than technical stuff that really doesn't translate into an experience end. I'm all for. But at any rate, so they announced this OS that basically is going to be an operating system for smaller machines that basically are only running games, game machines, and streaming video, of course, which everything fucking streams video these days. And then they are also touting it that it is more efficient. It is a more efficient, streamlined system, basically getting optimal performance out of hardware. So, I mean, we've already seen kind of something like this. I mean, in existing consoles, basically do this already. Because they're very dedicated machines that do very specified tasks, and so they can do them really well. So it's pretty smart. You're not going to be loading up Steam OS necessarily onto your computer. Actually, though, you may want to. So depending, I'll get to that at the kind of end of this. But it's kind of an exciting thing. It's an interesting first look at something that, as with all Valve's things, is evolving in kind of an experiment and sort of an interesting, innovative thing to do. So then the second thing that they announced was a beta for Steam machines, which is the actual hardware that they are looking to do, the processing living room machine that they are looking to make. And there was, I think, a Verge article where basically they talked to Gabe, and he was talking all hypothetically, but as it turns out, probably pretty accurately as to what their real plans were, that there were going to be 3 price points for this type of machine. And it would start at the top for best, better, and good, and it would start at the top for around $300 and go all the way down to a $90 price point. And the interesting thing that I think, one of the interesting things I think about this is it'll be interesting to see what the feature sets are for the different prices, because I believe a lot of one of the functionalities of SteamOS is you're actually able to stream from a PC to your Steam machine. So if that's the case, people with already beefy PCs may want to just go with the $99 one, and then they can just stream straight from their PC onto the thing, and that would work. Though I don't understand. Then you get into the whole thing. Well, why don't you just buy a DVI to HDMI cable? And to which I go, you may have a point, but there's a lot of anyhow. So it'll be interesting to see what the exact technical specifications are of these machines. I also was thinking that one, also the price point is for the best is actually kind of is good and smart in a way, because it's about $100 less than a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. Plus, it's going to be, it's going to be open source and SteamOS, and so you'll be going, well, aren't I kind of doing the same thing, but except more functionality and more openness, and probably, possibly. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with for the technical specs. I also imagine, though, that since it's, again, a very open and open architecture, you might be able to, if you have like a 2-3-year-old PC, be able to reformat it and have a really beefy, Steam machine. We're calling it a Steam machine right now, in your living room. Would that be a possibility? They're in their FAQs and everything. They in many times they're talking about how they like homebrew and are into hacking and all that stuff and DIY. So I think that could be a possibility. People could make their own super awesome Steam machines. Certainly, we're gonna probably see third-party ones that are open blanks to be able to do that. I would imagine that could be a thing in the future. And then finally today on Friday, it is Friday, they released, they showed the Steam controller, which is interesting, and I think it's something where, it's touch, you just touch it. There's a lot of touching. It's touching, it touches my heart. To me, it looks like it's something that they're trying to do to basically bridge the gap between keyboard and mouse and gamepad, which is impressive and smart to do, and it's also it's going to be a big accomplishment if they can actually do it, because I think it is a niche of the market that's pretty significant that nobody's really tried to conquer. Because basically the idea is, hey, we're gonna get our PC gamers, our hardcore PC gamers who like a lot of responsiveness, but don't necessarily want to have in their nice living room or their not so nice living room a keyboard and mouse setup, but they still want that kind of experience. And also, just frankly, some games aren't set up for that. So to be able to have that all in one controller and have it just sort of like sitting there, I think is a brilliant move. But once again, the proof is going to be in the pudding. I mean, there's no reason not to have faith in Valve and what they're going to be able to accomplish with that. But again, it's something that we just got to kind of see how it works. So basically, yeah, this has been an interesting time, an interesting week leading up into October, November, deciding where people are going to spend their ducats. I think Valve is doing very smart things in order to try to court more of the casual end of the media consumers. And so honestly, I mean, I hope it works. Now I'm going to have to save up even more money in order to buy one of these things. Though, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to pick up the $99 one, and that'll be fine. Also, I think I imagine the price point on the Steam controller, I wouldn't be surprised if it's about the same as the low end of a Steam machine, but we'll have to wait and find out, because the Steam machines won't be coming out until early 2014, which probably means May? April? Who knows? Anyhow, that's the first of Matt Does the News. A little speculation, a little talking, a little clarification, a little bit more confusion. Par for the course. Like, favorite, subscribe, Twitter, Django, Unchained, Fat, Boba, talk words. I clearly just had a stroke. Thanks for watching.